right, folks. It is the middle of the week, and I'm really excited about the day. It is Wellness Wednesday. And as usual, thank you so much for being part of the broadcast and tuning in to the broadcast. This is the Marketplace Show Reset and Jumpstart, broadcasting live on several mediums, several platform, radio, television, online, and social media. And so we welcome you to go to www.jumpstarteconomy.us or www.jumpstart.tv.com. Colleagues, how are you? How is everything on your end? It's a beautiful day here in Paradise. I hope that it is the same in the DMV area.
It's beautiful. Yes, it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful day because we're alive and well and are able to talk with you.
Over here, that's what I call it. Little liquid sunshine.
It is. So, but we're getting lots of rain, but we're excited about that because we understand what it takes to make growth. So we're excited about the rain.
Can you send me some rain? Because we are dry. We are very dry. So we need rain.
You need rain? Okay, we'll bring it in a nice little cup all the way on an airplane, and we will bring it to you, Anthony.
With sunshine.
We'll send some down your way.
So fine,
I thought we were gonna do. I thought we were gonna do the rain
all
dance.
of that stuff, right?
The rain dance.
So can you hear
Okay,
me?
what is that? I like it.
We can hear you. You were frozen for a minute. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, if we do the rain dance, that will take care of. Camille will be very excited for us because we're supposed to be moving and sleeping and eating properly. And today is motivation movement, right?
It's going to be movement and mind. What did you say?
Movement and mind. Yeah. So there we got it, Anthony. Movement mind for radio.
The connection for
Candace.
Candace is there's some issue. I'm not sure what it is.
She'll plug back in.
Let me try and bring her back up again. I don't think she's having internet issues.
Well, can we say why we're working
jump out and come back on? Can you email me the link?
Okay.
Well, we just want to remind our listeners and our viewers that it's still time to get your applications in for the SBA PPP program. Really important. There's plenty of time, but there's no time like right now to hear what really is going to help you jumpstart your economy and making sure that you get the payroll protection that you need to bring your employees back or to make sure they have a continuum of salary and benefits. We have an amazing tool through jumpstarteconomy.us that will allow you to go right away and make your application online, upload all your relevant documents, your Schedule C or your corporate tax returns, your various information that's going to legitimize your business. If you had your business before February 20th to 2020, which was the cutoff if you establish your business after that time, there are other types of programs for you. But for right now, we're trying to get our economy jumpstart in a real significant way.
Yeah, for whatever it's worth, access to capital is never an easy thing for small businesses, particularly local businesses. And there's probably in the history of access to capital market and access to capital where you have the type of, if you will, subsidies that are helping to incentivize access to capital. The normal underwriting guidelines to secure an SBA loan or a small business loan, whether it's an SBA loan or just simply a commercial loan, requires a great deal of documentation.
Yes.
Collateralization. I mean, it's a heavy lift.
Exactly.
It's not easy. If it's any indication that if you're going to access capital, this is the time.
This is the time.
Right now.
The tranche of funds that are available now, at least when it started a year ago, and we're now in the second tranche of it, that the rules have been literally curtailed from being ultra conservative, or should I say moderate conservative, to now to more liberal in terms of opening up the space for folks to get funding for their business. And so, Linda, you're right on point.
I mean, it's something that we've got to preach almost. We got to preach it to the audience, because we're talking sole proprietors who were not eligible before, independent contractors, so 1099 employees. Those who are in the restaurant business have a special additional subsidy. Because, and is that also including those who are in the food service industry as well? Did we ever get that cleared up?
Yeah, no, it's all inclusive.
Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah, because we recognize there's a huge drain there. We're kind of hoping that the tourism industry would have that same consideration, but we're talking that this is some really critical funding that would not otherwise be available in any other part of history. It is a loan in which you will be eligible for having a portion, and perhaps even all, depending on how you use it, to be forgiven. That means you don't pay it back. It's like, I forgive you for it. You get to keep it. Don't worry about it. So it's critical to know the program. There's lots of information in the public domain. We had a 3-hour show 2 Wednesdays ago. Lots of good information on jumpstarteconomy.us. And of course, contact your local SBA office. They want to help you. And so do we.
The important thing is that there is a new extension. It has been extended beyond March 31st. And, what I'm hearing is a sense of relief that people are saying that the 2-month extension is a reprieve for them. Because they were anxious as to whether or not, or uncertain as to whether or not they can meet that deadline. And so what I say and encourage to those folks, the process in which we have constructed, okay, the construct of how you submit your application, where we're using technology is central to that. And so the process is literally intuitive, streamlined. It works with you. And so you literally have the ability to submit your loan application. Even if you don't think you're ready, the system will tell you what you need. So even if you don't understand what you think, you don't know what you need, submit your application, submit what you think the level of funding that you need, and the system will tell you what you need. And this is the best time to do this, because the rules have been relaxed. The rules are more liberal. It's not the same amount of documentation that you typically would see. And so it is so much easier to get the funding. And like Linda said, how many loans do you know you go for, and by the way, it has the potential to be forgiven? It doesn't exist, right? It doesn't exist. So this is the time. And I want to thank you for that, Linda and Carolyn, for reminding our viewers and listeners that we are here for them. We are a lender of the SBA Paycheck Protection Program loan, better known as PPP forgiveness loan. And we invite you to go to www.applyppp.info. www.applyppp.info. So, ladies, thank you for that. I believe Candace, she kind of regrouped. I think she's ready. I see her in the studio.
Okay, let's
bring her up. Let's see if she's good to go.
I was just emailing, make sure we're all set. Hello.
Hey, I made it back.
Okay, wonderful.
It's so sketchy here.
Your volume is down. Can you turn up your volume? Your volume is low.
Let's see. It's can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool beans.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
All
Well,
right, ladies.
welcome back.
Candace is making her periodic visit or contribution to the program,
Yep.
and on Wellness Wednesday, and she's a wellologist, and so we're going to talk about, what does it take to be in that space of wellness, right? Because the discussion on the segment number 1 focuses on your health and wellness, and so I'm going to go back studio and allow you ladies to have that great discussion on, what Candace does best, which she's proficient at. Thank you, Candace, for being part of the program today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Anthony. And just to put things in their perspective, when we initially talked with Candace, we know she's a wealth of information. So we thought bringing her on monthly, isolating a certain topic and talking about that. We know that you tell us to eat well, sleep well, move well, hydrate well, have our mind right, all of those things. But this segment is going to focus on movement and mind.
Yeah.
And you've got a special twist for us, if I remember correctly.
Yes, even when you think about movement, most you always say, movement doesn't occur until you move. And of course, we're talking about a form of exercise. So we can't get our bodies tight until we get our minds right. A lot of the times you hear all the time that, just get up and go work out, get up and go work out. And the mind does not compute that because it's not something that you have done in the past, number one. And then we have what I call our bag of excuses, right? We have our excuse bag that we often get in. And one of the biggest things when I talk about the whole Sexy Fit and Well movement, I'm on a mission to change the statistics, especially of Black women, because I am a Black woman. And right now our statistics is so out of order. And just doing some recent research, 4 out of 5 of us is obese. And that has a lot to do with why we don't do what we already know how to do. So of course we talked about it the last time, which was our meals. And this time it's movement. So when you think of like the 3 biggest excuses, reasons, confabulations, you can call it whatever you want to, is why we don't work out at a bare minimum of 3 days a week to at least maintain our organ function, because that's what working out for 30 minutes for 3 days a week, it will maintain our organ function. It will get our organs working. But if you're trying to change your body composition, you got to do 4 or more. So it's 3 to maintain and 4 or more to change, right? Let me say that again, because I really want you to get this. It's 3 to maintain and 4 or more to change, simply because the FDA, they tell us that, just work out three days a week, 30 minutes a day, and it will help you, lose the weight you want, feel better, the energy. I'm here to tell you it will not do that. So there's some things that you have to do. 3 to maintain and 4 to change your body composition. But in order to do that, you have to be prepared. And that's basically what it talks about. How do you simply prepare to win in your movement and your wellness? You got to make a plan, just like anything else. Just like we have a business plan for our body, we need a business plan for our movement. It's
okay, hold on one second. A business plan for our movement.
Yes.
Hold on.
I like that. I like that concept.
I do too.
Did you like that, Carolyn? There's something about that makes a lot of sense for women like us.
Right. And knowing that you're a process person. So putting it in terms like that, Linda, I know that resonates with you. But a business plan, because we want to be about our business. So already you've given us some math. First of all, you're saying 4 out of 5 of us as women is obese. And can you tell me when obesity starts? Is there a number over my weight that would make me obese? Is it the 20, 25? Is it 30?
Well, generally you're 15 to 20 pounds over that you're overweight. When you're 25 or more, you're considered that obese. 30. 30 and above, you're considered, you know, in society and as the statistics states that you're morbid obese. So it's a lot of us that's in that overweight, obese, and morbid obese place according to statistics. Now, when you're talking about our bodies are built differently, but you know, you hear so much, it runs in my family, I'm big boned, or whatever that we come up with. That's a bunch of nonsense, is basically what it is. So
Okay, so hold
I'm
on.
glad to hear you say that. Can I just add to that, Carolyn, the question around BMI, body mass index?
Mhm.
Because sometimes you take that little tape and it tells you what your body mass index, or you step on your electronic, you know, scale. I don't even know what you call it. That gives you your BMI. Can you explain that? Because I think 31 or 30 or 29
Obese.
some is obese. Yes, so you
Obese.
can get yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to, and right along with that, and just for Linda's question, just so I can get this in my mind, if I'm 15 pounds more than my quote unquote ideal weight, I'm overweight.
Yes.
If I'm 25 or more, I'm obese.
Yes.
And if I'm 30, I'm morbidly obese.
Yes.
See, when I think of morbidly obese, I think of my 600-pound life. So, you know, I apparently I've been comforting myself in the wrong way. So saying that, and so now you've given us those. I just wanted to reiterate those. And then Linda's question about body mass index.
Because it kind of tags team to another way to measure, correct?
that's
And we
it.
all have these digital, wonderful digital, you know, weights that we can step on, or we have our iPhone or our Android phones
We
that
have
can give
all
us
the
that in
numbers.
some weird way. I don't know how, but it does.
We
Tell
have
us
all
about
the
that.
numbers. Because if you're just talking about your weight versus your height will give you your BMI if you're just doing your own calculation. And that's without all the gadgets that we have. But for the gadgets that we have, when you're talking about your age, your weight, you know, and how much you weigh in your age is going to tell you, you know, what's your BMI, which is your body mass index. 23, 24 and below is considered normal, right? So if you're somewhere between 24, they say 23, but 24 and below, you're at a normal. If your BMI is over 25 to 29, you are overweight. If it's 30 and above, you are obese. And most of it, even dealing with my clients on a daily basis, is that their BMI has been anywhere from 28 to 42. That means we are in that obese category that we really have to do something about it, because you know the numbers just don't lie. We don't like to get on the scale. We don't want to know our BMI because of course it makes us sad. You know, I don't want to know. People say, you know, I'm sick of the scale, I'm going to throw it out the window. Why? The scale is not lying. It's just there for you to track. I mean, because when you get on it, even for me to this day, I still get on the scale every week, simply because I want to know if it's something I need to change, something I need to tweak. It's just a tracker. So when you first start this, of course, we're looking inside of a week or two. We changed 2 or 3 things in our life. We worked out every day that week, and we're upset that the scale didn't go down 5 pounds. We upset that it didn't go down by 5 pounds. But just like in your business or anything else, you have to prepare and have this plan. Just like you have to have it to eat, you have to have it to exercise, and you have to have it to sleep and drink water. It's a process, and it's something that you have to work every single day. So you know how we make our little vision boards?
Yes.
For our
I love those.
You know, I would say to you, Linda, make a vision board for your body, just for
Wow.
your body.
And you know, I did that. I made a vision. Well, it was one side of my vision board, and I put on there the type of equipment that I wanted to buy. I had J-Lo, because she and I share a particular type of an asset together. And I had my fashions that I thought I could get in. And I am so proud of myself because I have been working towards that vision. And I actually got the equipment. And when I realized I purchased the equipment, I came back to I happened to walk past the vision board and saw the same equipment. So for those who can visualize it and feel it, this is a good mechanism. Maybe other people will their mechanism for recording it is in their journal, and then having someone accountable with them, but having a partner like yourself who is well skilled in this area is a great coach, a wellologist. I love that. You are the wellologist.
You know what?
Wellologist.
But let me just answer her, because I love it that everything that was on her vision board is on the outside, is external. The reason why we don't get there, because being well is not external. Well is internal. And
Wow.
until we get that, it doesn't take equipment. It doesn't take J-Lo. We're playing with our minds, and it's really, really time to stop playing with our minds and go about the business. It's good to have it. But when I say your vision for yourself, I mean strategically for yourself. So even on my vision board, I have me there. I have the best version of me. I want to be 125. I want to have a six-pack. You know, it's me. I want this wild curly hair. So it's a matter of what does your avatar for you. You and Jennifer may have had the butt, but she brought hers. Are you willing to do that? So at the end of the day,
I don't need to. I don't need to do that. What I need to do is to have those things that I aspire. I'm clear about who I am and confident in that. This just gives me something to say, oh, this looks good and I like it. So let me go ahead and do that, because you know, it gave me the motivation that I needed to get moving and to get focused.
Okay.
And so what you're really saying is I should go back to my pictures of 19 something that I like. And I was a grown woman, so bring those out and say, her, okay, I got that. I can change that up.
You know, it's good to look at celebrities and all of that stuff, but at the end of the day, we're not going to get there. We don't even have those resources. And even as you put those up, I would say to you, Linda, okay, you got your machines, you did this. What was your daily plan to get there? Because at the end of the day, it takes a daily plan. You know, even if you look at J-Lo's schedule, first of all, she work out 2 or 3 hours a day. Do you have that kind of time? So at the end of the day, we have to be, as we talk about the SMART goals, right? You got to be realistic inside of that. And what is it going to work for you? And that's what we do, because we start off and say, you know, I have a lot of clients, like I work out every morning. Like my workout time is, if I'm training for something, it's 2 to 3 hours a day. But if I'm not training for anything, it's 45 minutes to 60 minutes a day, no more than 90. And that's basically all you need. But a lot of the times we'll go in because we have these myths that simply says that, you know, we have these things that's ingrained in our mind that says if you exercise, you can eat what you want. If you do this every day and all of that, the more you exercise, the more weight you're going to lose and all of that. And it doesn't work like that. So it has to be the plan across the board that goes with your eating. It goes with your working out. It goes with your sleeping. It goes with your drinking water. You just can't do one and say, you know what, I'm going to be that chick that I was 35 years old again. But then the question that begs the ask is, why you want to go backwards? Ain't nothing back there.
So on your plan,
50-year-old chick look like?
Yeah, I also cut out a picture of Ernest Shepard, and I'm going to pick one out of you two, because so don't get kind of creeped out if I take you two with me, and some others who are a little bit older than me, but I tell you, they are tight because they got their mind right. Okay, Absolutely. They are tight because they got their mind right. I like what you're saying. And so because we need a plan, a strategic plan, a business plan for our health, should we also create a statement of commitment or an intentional statement, like a mission statement if we were in business, but this is now a vision statement for ourselves, so that we can be accountable to what we say we're going to do, because we've now put it into some vision statement or mission statement, and start that out? Okay.
Absolutely.
Candace, can we have you answer that question on the other side of the break? We are at the top of the hour, and I got to tell you guys, if it's one time that I'm really grateful that I'm not part of this conversation, is now, because there are two taboo things that you don't discuss with a woman: her weight and her age. And so
But
I'm
when you
just,
get your mind right, you can have that discussion. So
you know, I'm just a fly on the wall, just listening to you guys, and I'm glad that I'm not participating in that conversation.
all right.
But folks, this is the Marketplace Show, Reset and Jumpstart. We'll be back with my colleague Linda and Carolyn, our special guest, regular guest Candace, Camille on the program. We'll be right back, folks. If you're a small local business and you have not yet applied for your PPP forgiveness loan, you should know the deadline is fast approaching, and you need to apply now before May 31st, 2021. To apply now, go to www.applyppp.info. If you're a small local business and you have not yet applied for your PPP forgiveness loan,
The reopening measures are slowly taking place amid the coronavirus pandemic. Malls and restaurants are working again, and factories move more and more of their personnel back into the offices. However, that doesn't mean that people won't get sick anymore. On the contrary, there are now many more chances of spreading the virus even farther. To protect the employees and clients of your business, we developed thermocontrol screening stations. It is a quick and safe solution. Thermocontrol measures temperature at a distance of 25 centimeters. The device is autonomous. It does not require an additional employee to conduct temperature measurements or log the results. It can measure and even recognize masked faces. All of the results are logged automatically and stored in the database. You can use the station to ensure your clients and employees access to your building automatically.
John Smith, Frauenbach.
The station can issue entrance passes and grant access to the building after it measured the person's temperature. If the visitor's temperature is high, a notification will be sent and a potential carrier of the virus can't access the building. Thermocontrol can send SMS and messenger notifications, as well as notifications over email. Temperature measurement technologies allow businesses to ensure the safety of people and potentially save lives all over the world.
if you're a small local business and you have not yet applied for your PPP forgiveness loan, you should know the deadline is fast approaching, and you need to apply now before May 31st, 2021. To apply now, go to www.applyppp.info. If you
All right, Candace, we're back. So listen, we don't want to derail you because we know you were on a path and on a mission in disseminating this information to us, but we wanted to get back to the get back. Just to refresh, you've already told us that 4 out of 5 of us is likely obese. That's what the statistics show. You said it takes working out 3 times a week to maintain organ function. If we want to change anything about our body composition, we need to do 4 or more. And then we need to be prepared by having a business plan, because you can't get your body right if your body tight, if your mind is not right. There we go, Linda. Thank you.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think, Linda, your question was about the vision and the mission statement for yourself. And yes, you should, if you're going to look at it. For those of us that's very analytical, we got to write things down. It got to be in order. We got to do it step by step by step by step. But you know what? You got to find your thing. So if that works for you, then that's exactly what you need to do. Like something, a book that you can open up every single day. That's one of the reasons why I did the book. You can open up this book every single day and say, you know what? I'm going to decide to be happy. And
hold up that book. Can we see the title? Wait a minute. Sexy, Fit, and Well. Wait a minute. You didn't tell us about that.
On the front of that, we need you to put it directly in front of the exit.
Can you see it? There you go.
There we go. Sexy, Fit, and Well. And that's you planking
Fitness on the go.
Fitness.
Absolutely. It's fitness on the go. And it's
Outstanding.
40
How can we
ways,
get
40 ways to rock to the rhythm of your thoughts, because it's a
Yeah.
fitness workout book. So let me just show you
Rock
basically
to
To the
the
rhythm of your
of your
thought.
thoughts.
yes, rock, and I can't see this in the light, but I don't
No,
know
we
what
can't
they-
see. Oh, there we go. We can see
you
some.
see it? Yeah, some of it. But let me just tell you, Basin is based on a feeling and how you want to feel every day. See, movement is a feeling. It's going to get you to change the way that you feel. So I would say to you, Linda, like, how do you want to feel? And you look in here and it says, you know what? I just want to be free from diseases. I want to be free from pain. You know,
Yes.
I don't want to take medication anymore. I need some energy. So basically, what I tell you is like freedom just simply means the power to think without hindrance or restraints. So to get free from something, you have to take the restraints away and figure out what's holding you down. So how the mind and the body works together is this. The affirmation in here that I give you for freedom that simply says, my freedom to choose is my freedom to change. See, you have to want to choose to not have any more pain. You have to want to choose to get off medications, to lose the weight or whatever it is that you're going through. And basically what I tell you, okay, you want to be free and you're not exactly sure exactly what you need to do right now, because the only way to change how you feel and to change your physical body is through movement. So I'm going to tell you what to do on each letter of freedom. So for
Okay,
the
hold on.
letter F, I want you to do a 1-minute plank, right? That's what I want you to do, right? For the letter R, I want you to do 15 modified push-ups on the floor or on the wall. Either way you do it, wherever you have to start at, your race, your pace. For the E, I'm going to say, you know what? Take that wall that you're pushing up on and turn around and sit on the wall like you were a chair and just stay there for 1 minute if your knees will allow it, right? And then I'm going to tell you to do 10 jumping jacks for the next E. And then I'm going to say, you know what? Plank on your side for the D. And then I want you to do, 14 jumping jacks. And then I want you to just do 15 squats. So that's basically every word in this book gives you an affirmation and a movement that you can do with it. So it's a fitness workbook that you can follow inside of your mind and your body for those of us that can't, hire a wellologist like me, because I think you could start wherever you are. You don't have to be in a gym right now. And in case of the pandemic, we are all home. So now, even all of my clients I do online, we're not in a gym. I teach a class in the morning and I do one-on-ones online. But the course online follows this book. I get up every morning and we talk about what we're going to talk about today. Like today's phrase was like level up. Like in order to stay up later, you got to step up now. So you got to level up in your well-being. So that means you have to start somewhere to do something. So your statement says, I want to lose 40 pounds. Now, okay, Linda, if you want to lose 40 pounds, let's just break it down. Next question, when you want to do it in. Time, right? When you want to do it in. And then the biggest question I ask you is why. You hear about your why, but I want to go beneath the why. I want to know.
Go beneath the why.
Beneath the why, because we're all superficial surface wise, right? I want to lose weight. I want to play with my grandkids, yada, 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 yada. Everything everybody's saying. But there's a real reason beneath that why that's really stopping you from moving. And it's a limiting belief that you have that's stopping you from staying. And it's keeping you in that start-stop pattern. How many of you have started working out and you didn't get the result you want or the goal you wanted in the time factor that you thought you wanted it in, and you just stopped, or it wasn't important enough to have in your day? Like, I'm going to work, but I'm not going to work out. Why is it going to work is more important than you working out? because that's one of the things we have. And another thing, as Black women, our hair is one of the biggest reasons
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't work out, because even if you talk about society, it's a barrier, you know, that we have that stops us from being well. How we look stops us from being well, because the way we present ourselves to the hair, we can't go out without curly hair. If our hair is in a mess, so if I get up and work out and go to the gym in the morning at 5 o'clock, I don't have time to do my hair because
So, yeah, you know, it's interesting when you're saying that. One of the things that came back to me in part of my career, heading up the BET Foundation, well, this was our entire platform, helping African American women and women in communities of color to eradicate the issue of obesity through education and support and connecting to resources. But one of the things that you just talked about was going beyond the why, digging even deeper. And some of the women would talk about the family and the mental health issue of even eating healthy seemed to be a taboo or a source of criticism. There's something much more profound going on in many of our communities other than just not being able to find or have access to good foods in a convenient way.
Yes.
You know, sometimes we may have to travel out of our community to find the right foods that are going to help us to be nutrient dense foods if we can't get it because we're in food deserts, and many people live in communities of food deserts. In terms of moving, being able to just walk up and down the steps in your home, you know, finding the start. How do we help women in particular, because they influence so much of the family, dig even further down to really pull off safely whatever is happening from a mental health perspective that's keeping them from identifying that why?
But you know what? And that's where the mental health comes in. That's where the emotional mastery comes in. Believe it or not, that's why I went back to get trained in emotional mastery and NLP in terms of the body, because again, you can't master your business until you can't master your body until you master your mind. You can't master your business until you really master your body. But it all boils right back down to the limiting beliefs, our blueprint, and what we have been taught. You know, because again, when you go back to when we were little, you know, especially if you were in a distressed situation where food was minimum, or we lived in food deserts, or you got beat because you didn't eat what was available to you, you know, whether you liked it or whatever. So a lot of these things that we have that's about our well-being right here goes back to what was taught to us when we were kids. So it's limiting beliefs. I came from that type of environment, but I learned better. So the thing about it is that's why you have to open up to someone and you have to talk about it. So even to work with me, you got to come through me to my red couch. So meaning that you have to sit down and you have to talk to the emotional mastery coach and allow me to jump in and go deeper to find out what's stopping you and what's blocking you, because that's what's there. And once you get it, especially as the woman, because we are the one that heads the household when it comes to our food, right? So again, if we can, we have to go about trying to get healthier foods, like you said, that's not, you know, exposed to us. We don't have exposure to it. And that's a whole nother thing, trying to figure out how to cook what we have healthier, because we have it. So you got to cook what you have healthier, because again, we all have to deal with what we have right in front of us. So whatever you have in front of us, what you can get to, because here's what I think, Carol and Linda, we do what we want to do. Because if we had to drive from here to Homoscada to get a new bag, a new pair of shoes, find somebody to take us, we gonna figure it out. One of the things I know for sure, everything is figure outable, but it has to be something.
I love that.
I love it.
Figure outable. Be
I
clear.
know.
Because you know what, Camille, Candace, I actually, will text Carolyn because she knows all the healthy places to go because she likes to eat plant-based more than me. And I'm trying to learn to come up to that because I love vegetables actually. And but not enough to know when they're in season or not. I recently said, "Where did you go get that kale?" And she's, "We're out of season for kale, Linda." So I said, "Okay, well then I must be going to the broccoli counter because I'm just gonna get some broccoli and some spinach and pretend like it's kale." I've been so excited about what's happening because you're right. We do what we want to do, but sometimes we have to come past that, don't you think, to do what we need to do because we have a health issue. Last week, we had someone on board who was an triple organ transplant. And she's so impressive because she is doing exactly what you said, 3+ times a week to maintain the blessing of an organ transplant.
Absolutely. But you know what? And you say that generally we're waiting for trauma or drama, or we're waiting for an emergency to happen.
Candace, thank you. So let me just, because what you just said, help me get past, because apparently I am stuck. You mentioned earlier confabulation, and now this is figure outable. Why is it that in my brain, after I zip up a pair of jeans that I have been wearing for years and have challenge with that, all of a sudden, now I'm motivated. That's it. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be squatting. I'm going to be lifting. I'm going to do it. And then tomorrow morning comes and I'm like, okay, maybe a little bit later on. Okay, after a few phone calls, let me answer some emails. Okay, there's a document I have to put together. And then before I know it, it's 6 o'clock in the evening again, and I'm already snacking on something. What is my problem?
It's just not important enough to you.
I hate when you say that. That's painful.
It is good.
Isn't it painful?
I'm hoping that it hurt enough so you can do something about it. See, the thing about it is that we sugarcoat so much. It's just not important to you. It was more important to go do your work, not your workout. So the thing about it, it goes right back to our limiting beliefs. Those pants didn't fit. Why? I got enough money, or what the hell? I'll go buy me a new pair of pants. It ain't that serious, or whatever the case may be. It wasn't important enough to you right now. So it's the pants. So the pants is no big deal. So you have to think about it, is that if you say to me, Candace, why do I get up and work out every single day for the last 35 years of my life? My question to you is that I don't ever want cancer to enter my body ever again in life. Okay. See, you gotta have your reason for, and it has to be so very, very big that it's beyond you. So cancer is my accountability. It keeps me on my toes because I remember that feeling. And that's why it says it has to be an emergency or a drama or a trauma, unfortunately, for us to really get it and stay there. Because at the end of the day, so what? My pants don't zip up. I'll stop doing something next week. It hasn't become that thing, or it's not part of your day. And that's why it really has to be put into that, and she's right, that pain pleasure principle. Yes. When we get pain and it really, really hurt, like you said, I hurt you, and I say, good. Is it hurt enough for you to do something about it? Because it goes back to our limiting beliefs, just based on, we were taught, you need to go to work, chick. You need to go to work. You need to get in school. You need to go to work. This is what we have to do, because it's already embedded in our minds, in our behaviors, and patterns is there. See, we have patterns that we follow that has already inbuilt. They are blueprints, right? So until you create a new pattern, a new standard, a new habit, your mind is never going to tell you to do it. So until you start really getting into it, like my mind says to me every day, we working out, right? No ands, no ifs, no buts. It's something that I roll out of bed and do. If I can't find Gail, just like you, Linda, I'm going to find me some broccoli. I eat something green every day. So it's just a matter of making sure that it's now in your blueprint. It's not in your blueprint, and it's no fault of yours, because that's what we've been taught. I had to change my whole blueprint, and that's what I help women do as the wellologist, to change a lot of their limiting beliefs that was taught to us by our parents, our grandparents, but we understand that was their thing. This is not our thing. You don't even know what your thing is until you go in search of it, right? And make it very, very important to you. Me
So
being
are there some-
well is important to me.
Yeah. Are there some, because you give us some really good steps to follow. I mean, the mindset that you gave, sleep, eat, and move. I mean, that's just my whole life right now. So thank you for that. Is there something tactically in terms of being
Movement?
motivated and moving?
I want the book.
That's the first. That's the first one. That's the first one.
How do I?
And then I love the freedom, because then you can think freedom. I'm going to freedom, because I do think that we take for granted, unless we've come through that trial and tribulation in our body, or something, or we've watched it in someone else's, and we're like, I don't want to experience what they experienced. You know, we kind of take it for granted. Would you say? So how do we? What can you help those with who are not able to tag team with you, but can get your book?
Okay.
Can connect with you virtually, and can give some thoughts, like really holding the mirror up to themselves. I think that's the key here.
And that's what you have to do. Hold the mirror up to yourself. As a matter of fact, get butterball naked, stand in front of the mirror, take all your clothes off, because listen, your reflection is going to give you direction and correction. So that's
Hold on, wait a minute.
Oh my goodness.
Gary Coaxum is asking.
Okay. So wellologist, you're gonna have to do a book of the wellologist isms.
Is it
Okay, because we had a bunch that you just dropped today.
Exactly.
Can you repeat that, please? I know Carolyn's like, wait a minute, we gotta write that down. Carolyn, we gotta write that down. We gotta write that down. We gotta write that down in our orange book.
It's gonna give you direction for correction. If you don't like what you see in your reflection, it will give you the direction for correction. And yes, and when it comes to positive affirmations, and that's what the book is about, because you really have to talk yourself into doing something every single day. So I would say the first thing I would say, Linda and Carolyn, get up and do is that have a feeling that you want to feel. Like you just say, you know what, today I want to feel triumphant. You know, I want to feel a change. You know, I want to feel courage. And then you create an affirmation. And that's what I've done in the book. You create an affirmation that you say to yourself, I am stronger than my fear. Today I will inhale courage and exhale fear. And I'm going to do it anyway. See, because you have to have courage in order to change. Let me say that again. You got to have courage in order to change. Why? Because your change is on the other side of the challenge, that you're going to need courage to do it anyway, because it's going to be painful, right? Because a lot of times we don't want to work out because it's painful, right? Like this thing gonna hurt. And do you agree with that?
I would say we got to admit it, because we don't want to go the distance. We're like,
No.
I got a little sweat butt, and I'm like, I'm done. I've done my
Okay,
so no, you got to go
Can
all the way.
I give you a little analogy that hopefully it's okay on here about pain and pleasure and working out?
Okay.
So you got to change your analogy about it, right? So I'm talking to mostly women here. So you have to change your analogy, right? So we're grown women. Most of us have children, correct? Right? So in order to have children, we done had some sex somewhere down in our lives, right? So think about it. When we first had sex, it hurt.
Just think about it.
Right? So you know what? Sex hurt. We didn't want no parts of it. But then all of a sudden, sex got pretty pleasurable, right? So now we went and we had the sex. So it's a matter of fact, we asked for it these days. So at the end of the day, something that was so very, very painful became pleasurable. Why? Because you had to work your way into it. So it's the same thing. So you got to change your analogy with it. Like when your association, right? Had sex, it was no big thing. But as I got to like my 30s, 40s, it's like I'm ready to come jump your bones, because that's basically what it was all about. So when you think about it, changing your analogy where you're going, see, you're looking at the now. You got to look at the later. Like what's going to happen, it becomes pleasurable later when you do it. So the same thing as when you're eating. when you're eating something that we know that we're not supposed to eat it. I always say to the women that I work with, was it orgasmic? You know, did you have that elated feeling that make you want to sit up and smoke a cigarette, or your head go back and curl your toes? Because
Oh my
if
goodness.
it does not do that for you, you have no business eating it. Now, I got some things that I ate that give me that elated feeling, and I don't have no guilty. That's my pleasure, right? But if it's not giving you that kind of pleasure, it's just a waste of time, money, and energy. So it's a matter of when you go to put something in your mouth, you got to make sure that it's doing something for your body. For those moments that I'm talking about, those put a smile on your face because you just like chocolate cake. But if you ate something and you'd be like, you know what, I shouldn't have ate that, then you're absolutely correct, because you still have to do the things. We still have to put a smile on our face. Do I eat chocolate? Yes. Do I drink wine? Yes, I do. Because at the end of the day, but I follow that same 80-20 rule in my life. 5 days a week, I work out and I eat very, very well. But 2 days a week, I'm having me some fun, because life is not about eating grass and ice, as most people think when it comes to being well. You know, you still have to be well and still be able to do the things that you want to do. So if you follow that 80-20 rule, even in your exercise, if you work out 5 days a week, whatever it is, 2 days that you off, but the thing about exercise is once you get into it, your body is going to say, you know what, I like the way I feel with that. Give
Yes,
me
it will.
more. So there are 3 exercises that I can tell each and everybody to do. Like once you
Are
wake
these
up.
in the book? Are these in the book?
Oh, absolutely. They
So tell
are
us how we can get a copy of the book.
Go
Please.
You're
to
teasing us, wellologist. You're
Listen.
teasing us. We want the book.
Go to CandiceCamille.com and you can order the book, and I will sign it, date it, and send it to you.
Okay,
Right?
CandiceCamille.com.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to drive to National Harbor and get my own copy this week. So I'm going to tell you right now.
Listen, I will meet
Get
you
mine.
there, and
I'll
I
pick
will
yours up
bring
too.
it to you. So that I'm telling you, because
I'll PayPal you.
it's a place to start, because it really, really touches your mind and your body. And that's what you have to do. So even for those of you, you can order the book, but right now you can start today. There's 3 exercises that literally touches your whole body, every muscle in your body.
What?
Carolyn, do you know what they are, Carolyn? Linda?
Is one of them the plank?
Of course, one of them is the plank.
That's because you're a plank Nazi. Okay.
Look, can I just make a confession? Can I just provide a confession? Like I'm on the red couch. Can I just do that, Candace? So the first time you came on, you talked about the plank. I went and tried, and my arms are like all over the place. I can now at least get up to 2, like, plank, which is already just getting into position is an achievement. I kid you not.
Okay.
And getting into a position where I can count to 10 and then I'm kind of down. So I just feel like I've actually, because I've been doing my smoothies, I'm going to tell you, I've lost some weight. I've gotten my mind tight.
Come on.
But I
now.
love
Come
this
on,
concept
Country.
about the business plan, because Carolyn knows I am a businesswoman. So I got to put, if it's a plan to be written, I'm writing it and looking at it, because that gives me the commitment that I have put it down on paper. So my commitment, I don't know what my goal is yet. See, that's where I have to build some forward goals.
Figure that out and break it down. Like, what's your big goal? Like, if I say to you, Linda, right now, okay, let me put you in the hot seat. Right now, what's your big goal for your body? Like, how much weight do you want to release? And change your languaging, because when you say you lose weight, losing weight is just like losing your keys. Eventually, you're going to find it back. But when you change...
I want to release it. I don't want it back.
I will never say that again. Well, you have just straightened that out for me right now. I will never say that again.
Weight, yes. So you got to know how much weight for this little bit of time that we have left. Let's just help you build your plan, right? So how much, and I'm calling you out right now, because a lot of times we are afraid to say things because we're afraid we may not get it. But when you say it out loud and you write it down, now you have been held accountable, because now I'm coming for you. Like, how you doing today? What are you doing inside of your plan? So now let me ask you again, how much weight do you want to release?
I would like to release at least 20 pounds.
Okay.
I did my COVID-19 plus. So that's what I would like to release. I've just told the whole wide world. So
But you're
now
analyzing it. Don't
Oh, okay.
analyze it. Give me a number, just one number, 20. So don't, I want to at least, none of that. Your mind is here and I don't want to do it. I don't have to do it. So one
Well,
of the things you have to do is be concise. What do you want?
20.
20 pounds. When? When do you want to lose it?
July 1st.
July 1st. So right now we're talking about 3 months, right? So what is like, yeah, what? April, May, June, 4 months. Let's say 4 months. So if you lose a pound a week, which is say 4 pounds a month, right? So that's generally in 4 months is going to give you about 16 pounds. And that's only if you reduce your caloric intake by 500 calories a day. I need you to write that down, right?
Reduce
your caloric intake by 500 calories a day, because 1 pound is 3,500 calories.
Ew.
Yeah, 1 pound, 3,500 calories. But if you reduce your caloric intake by 500 a day, that gives you 3,500 in 7 days, right? So that's just by changing the way you eat. Now, let's talk about movement, because now we're talking about extending. Right? So now let's just say, I'm going to work out 4 days a week, because remember, I said 3 to maintain, 4 to change.
Right.
So we're going to start on that 4 day a week. I'm going to work out 4 days a week, right? And each time that I work out, I want to extend about 200 calories, right? I'm going to burn about 200 calories, right? So now that's put me in, I reduce my food. I'm adding the workout in. So now for the day, I got 700 calories that I'm reducing. You multiply that by 7, it comes out to 4,900 or something like that. So you start working like a pound and a half a week. And the more you work out, remember to always do your caloric intake, but to reduce your caloric intake by 500, you got to know what you're eating. You got to know what you're eating. So that's one of the things, to start keeping a diary. For those of you that's analytic, write it down, what I'm eating, everything that I'm putting in my mouth. MyFitnessPal is one of the apps that you can go to that will help you keep track of that, right? So you're working out 4 days a week. By July, you're reducing your caloric intake by 500. You're drinking a bare minimum of 64 ounces of water a day. And you're getting a bare minimum of 7 hours sleep a night.
Yes.
And you will hit that goal. Put that in your book. Now you have to follow it. Let me say this. You have to follow that plan to the letter of the law.
Wow.
I wrote it all down. It was scratchy, but let me tell you.
And it's not even my plan. I just wrote down that.
It is everybody's plan, that anybody that want to reduce. That is the basic. When you're talking about just getting to the basics of movement and changing your body composition, that's the basis. Now we can go into and talk about macros and body types and all of that. That's all the stuff that I teach.
That's a different discussion.
That's a whole different thing. But what I just gave you is the basics, and everybody can follow it based on what they already have. So having a book, getting in here every day and say, you know what, I'm going to pick the word resilient today, and I'm going to be resilient, right? And that's how you're going to have to do it. So that's the plan for movement. And you just got to make it important to you. That's probably the biggest thing that I can tell you about it. It just has to be just as important as money is and your work is.
Well, the challenge is on. I received the challenge. I'm going to show back up here. I have broadcasted nationally. Carolyn has written it in her book. Our colleague Terry is on Facebook. It's out there now. So I have no choice, and I'm excited about that too.
and we're over our limit, but CandiceCamille.com, they can get that book. And I'm coming for you, Candice. I'm coming to pick up our books.
Let me know. Thank you for having me. I have so much. I have a blast when I come here.
See you next month.
See you
See you
next
next month.
Bye, Anthony, Linda, Carol. Bye, everybody.
Virtual hug.